It says I'm already been live for 28 seconds. I don't know how that could be, but welcome everybody. Welcome to another fantastic episode of me being able to invite some amazing friends, talk some Disney. Really looking forward to it. Uh, we unfortunately, and I'm going to start with the one person who was not able to come, and that is our dear friend Leanne, Sooner Girl Travels. She's awesome, and wish she could have been here, but unfortunately it was kind of late there and so forth. So, but I do see her in the chat. Leanne, welcome here. Nicole Rodenheisler, if I said that right, welcome here. Nice to have you here. And now, without further ado, I want to introduce my good friends. First off, she is a lovely woman from Oklahoma. She is full of grace and wisdom. And I introduce to you none other than T-Town Mary Allen.
I've got to live up to that now.
Welcome to the show. Love your ears. Love the Toy Story sweater.
Thank you, Dean.
We're going to have some fun.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, we've got more. Now, people, I'm telling you, the world is just not funny anymore. I watch commercials, I watch TV. Nothing is funny, but I know somebody who is hilarious. He makes me laugh every time. And I introduce to you the funniest man on the internet. I kid you not, is Road Trip Dave.
What up?
Welcome to the show.
What up, Dean? Thanks for having me on, man. It's good to
Thank
be
you for
here.
being on.
Good to be here in
All right,
the house.
And we want to say also, welcome, Darren. Nice to have you here. This guy is an awesome guy. If you haven't seen by any chance Magnificent Germany with Darren, I'm telling you, he is a cool dude. And
Dean, I think you need to say that in the special accent. Magnificent Germany with Darren.
I'm afraid that I'll leave that to you.
All right.
And we have Francisco in the house. Nice to have you here. But now, last but not least, I want to give you somebody who, well, I've known him all of his life. The man is a genius. He can take the wonder of Disney and integrate it into his own house and backyard. I give you none other than the backyard Imagineer extraordinaire, Epcot Bob.
Yeah.
No. I'm not a genius. Dean's
Bob, the
Dean
genius.
is the genius.
No.
When I'm telling you, when
y'all
we built,
both are the genius.
well, I'll tell you what. Bob said, Dean, put a nail there and hammer that together. I did it. And what came out of it? This beautiful backyard Imagineering feat we called Minicot. Check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I still have some of the things Dean built because they were built so strongly that I can't take them apart. I don't know what to do with them.
Questionably strongly.
Dean, where did you put that video? Is that on your Live Place channel or Dreamers Empire? Or is that on Epcot Bob?
It's on Epcot Bob's channel, and it's also on the Dreamers Empire channel.
Dreamers Empire, I think that's the primary place for it. So, and it's got what, 30,000 views, something like that.
30,000 views. Our first video got 30,000 views.
Yeah, it's done in like 420p or something, and we didn't know anything about camera quality at the time.
Well deserved, guys. That's y'all should have 300,000. Really, because I mean it's really awesome.
Yeah, somebody will show their cat jumping on the floor, and that'll get 1 million views. You know?
I know. We put 3 months into that blasted video. We've got Todd B in the house. Todd B, former news media guy. It's so good to have him here.
What up, man?
Leanne, it's wonderful to see you together on screen, but we're in tears because we're missing something.
Leanne, I'm so heartbroken. I have vodka in this mug.
You're going to be a lot of fun tonight.
He's not crying in his beer. He's crying in his vodka.
That's right. Oh, yes. Yes, crying bitter tears.
Yeah, we miss you, Leanne. We'd love to have you with us.
Yeah. Yep. We'll do it again. And
did you say Darian was on? Hello, Darian. Good to have you.
Magnificent Germany with Darian. Yeah.
Dave, you can do all kinds of impersonations tonight. We welcome it.
Oh, that's wow. I'll do some more. I actually, what's funny is with my time not being able to live stream lately and not being able to, I'm still working on my videos. Still got my Shades of Green video. I'm still putting together. It's like I'm getting in the car and I put I have the kids, taking the kids to school, taking the kids to soccer practice, flag football practice, swim practice, dance practice, whatever, right? And it's like during that time, that's when I can actually work on my on my impressions. I'll just because I'll just put in a little YouTube skit in the thing. I just listen to it and then I'll just come up with something. But yeah, it's a useless talent.
No, not useless.
Love it, man. All right, let's see. I think I'm caught up on comments. Oh, I want to go over the poll I put. We have a whopping 7 votes, and I said, is your go-to Disney hotel a deluxe, a moderate, a value, or off-property? And the answers were surprising that over 50% was value, which I guess that could make sense. Yep.
Interesting.
Deluxe was second with 29%, and then off property with 14. Moderate was none. Oh, there's another vote. Oh,
wow.
We've got a moderate now. Awesome.
So now was the question, is it where you like to go or where do you go?
What's your go-to hotel?
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. And so there we go. Well, we're here to talk about hotels, and I got to look at the right screen here. And we're going to go around the horn. Now, we said top 5. Maybe you have a few more. That's fine. Maybe you can save them for honorable mentions. But let's go ahead and start, and let's see how closely we come out with this. So, T-Town, Mary Ellen, I'm going to start with you. Number 5. What's your 5th on the list?
Okay, I'm going to start with what I want as my 5 because the 3 that I've been to, I put on my top 3. So my 5th, I would like to be at, and I know this is, I want to be, I've never stayed at the Contemporary. It's been a while since I've even stayed on a monorail hotel, but there's just something about the architecture, the closeness to Magic Kingdom, being on the monorail. They've kind of fluffed it up a little bit. Now, Dave has stayed in the towers. Is that all DVC or is that anybody?
The Bay Lake Tower is DVC, yes. Now the main tower is standard hotels. And they've been recently retrofitted with Incredibles theming from the movie Incredibles.
That's
in the main tower.
Well, I want to stay, in the main tower where the monorail goes through.
Very cool.
That's where I want to stay. That's my number 5.
Awesome. Yeah. Question, how long are you staying in a hotel compared to the parks? That's an interesting question. Like, Dave, when you were at Bay Lake, did you guys spend a lot more time at the hotel?
Well, we actually, I think the thing is, if you're staying on property, you a lot of times want to make an effort to make at least one day like a resort day where you can just enjoy the resort, just chill out at the pools, explore the resort. I mean, and that's the thing, like Mary Ellen's Contemporary Hotel. I mean, there's a lot to do there, just walking around in it, right? And it's like you could, and if you're, you eat at one of the hotels there, like Chef Mickey's, or you can even go on the monorail resort loop ride, just and hey, that's included,
And
right now,
you can watch the fireworks up at the platform, the tower up.
That's right. Yep.
And they pipe in the music, so you can still not leave your hotel and do the things Dave is saying.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and like the pool. Well, and then before they got rid of like the water skiing, like I remember you used to be able to learn how to water ski there. Now, but you still have boat rentals, right? So you can just you can take on the Bay Lake little water sprites, or take a boat ride to Fort Wilderness, right, from Contemporary. or Wilderness Lodge. So it's if you're staying at a hotel in Disney like that, a lot of times I would say I never try to maximize park time. I want to at least have 1 to 2 days of resort. But I don't know what Bob, what do you and Dean do on that? Like, is that how you kind of go things or do things or?
Yeah. Sorry, say the question again. I got distracted reading the.
That's all right. If when y'all are staying at a Disney resort, do y'all make an effort to, like make a day or two at the resort just by itself and not try to maximize park days or?
Well, definitely yes. But normally we'll all move around to other resorts and check other ones out too. So and usually a lot of people get up and rush right into the parks in the morning. I actually like mornings at the resort. And so oftentimes, most of the time, it's a leisurely morning, and then I don't go into the parks until the afternoon.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Bob and I, when we used to do trips together more, we were very what do you call the word, ninja? I mean, just attacking, getting up, getting in everything. But as we got older, yeah, we definitely taking our
we
time.
slowed down.
Yes.
Well,
understand that.
Let's get this other question in from Rock and Robin. If you're spending in time in the hotel, better might be good idea, but more time just set. I'm not sure I get the words there from you because spend more time money in the park. Well, that's true. Yeah, if you're in the parks, you're definitely more likely to spend some money. So definitely fun to chill at the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, don't give Bob Cheapskate any ideas, but it might be charging for the boat rides and the monorail rides.
Yeah, I know. we like those freebies.
Yes.
Yeah. So Leanne, you like that too? Yeah. I really enjoy the mornings at the resort, and in fact, I think I don't even remember the last time I actually rushed into the park or tried rope drop or anything like that. It's always just kind of chill time at the resort. Usually, we're at a value resort, and so like Pop Century, I'll just kind of walk the outer grounds, walk around, Hourglass Lake and that kind of stuff. So
love that. All right, Dave, let's have your number 5.
Cinco is, and this is it's actually, we mentioned it earlier just real briefly, but the only reason why this doesn't make it in the top 3 or top 4 is it's a little out the way from the Magic Kingdom park, but it's still considered a Magic Kingdom park resort, and that's Wilderness Lodge. Wilderness Lodge is my number 5 resort. And the only reason why I put it as number 5, I didn't put any. There's one moderate that I have in this list. But I had Wilderness Lodge there because it's grand. It really is a grand resort. Just it has spectacular theming. We talked earlier about how you could spend a day at Contemporary. You could spend a day and a half at Wilderness Lodge. I mean, it is just wonderful. There's like many times you're in the resort, you don't even know you're in Disney World. It's that good. And it looks, now my wife, this is what's funny, Mrs. Road Trip thinks that it's rustic. It's rustic. It's rustic looking. It's rustic looking, but it's got all the amenities. It's definitely okay. I've heard this said before.
It's not rustic price.
No, it's not a rustic price. No. But here's the funny thing about that is that it's if you go there, I've heard this said, it would be called the more masculine themed resort. That's what like that would be something more like mountain men would stay. That's what, at least that's what I've read. So
Tim Allen.
What's that?
It would be Tim Allen based on your impersonation there.
I just saw him on Facebook on like a couple days ago. It was like his first stand-up comedy routine with Rodney Dangerfield show, and I just thought of that. He was awesome.
Well, I want to interject here is so already two of yours are both on my list, and I'm just going to wait until it gets to mine because I have thoughts about those resorts too. So, Bob, for what that's worth, what's your number 5?
Okay, so I mean, these don't have to be ones we've stayed at, right? I mean,
Correct.
It's our favorites because I've only stayed at Values and then plus one, actually deluxe resort, and that deluxe resort is actually my number 5, which is the Animal Kingdom Lodge. And now,
Story.
don't get me wrong, Animal Kingdom Lodge is fantastic. I mean, it's just that grand entry, that building is incredible, and of course being on the Savannah, and so I got upgraded one time because I was scheduled to go in the like All-Star Movies, and they said, would you be interested in an upgrade at no extra cost to the Animal Kingdom Savannah view? Let me think about that for a nanosecond. So I stayed there for a week. Beautiful, and I loved it. Why isn't it my top 1 or 2? Because I have other ones that I really, on some of my other ones, that's going to be like my top 1. That's where I really wish they would have put me. But the Animal Kingdom Lodge is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I like it. It's nice. It's just kind of tucked away. It's not close to the other parks that I like the most. I'm not as much of an animal guy. Now, my daughter, that would be her number 1, would absolutely be Animal Kingdom. But anyway, it's beautiful lodge. Sanaa is there. That's a great place to eat.
I just got to ask about Sanaa. Yeah, that's
so that's definitely a
good
draw.
things.
We've eaten. We ate at Boma's, didn't we, Dean? I think.
We ate at Boma's.
Yeah, Boma's is very good. So it's got a lot of draw, but so yeah, nothing to say against it. It's just for me. That would be my number 5, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And as it turns out, my number 5 is also Animal Kingdom, and I have not stayed there, but I do make a point of getting out there every trip now because of the things Bob said. It's beautiful. The foyer, the lobby, and just the architecture. And I do enjoy seeing the animals. One of the things that Bob and I always do is, I don't know if it's at both places. I think it's at both places. There's those balcony areas that are very rarely used, and you can go and sit there in a rocking chair and watch some animals and chill. And it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, me and we were there in February with a large family group. Not as much a Disney-centric vacation, but just Florida. But one day, I'd talked about it so much, my wife said, well, why don't you take me and show me what this is? So we went and drove over. I think we drove to, can't remember where. I think Hollywood Studios. We rode a bus over there, and we just went in and loved it. Thought it was great. She loved it too. We sat out on those balcony for probably a good hour and just watched the animals walk by in the savannah. We walked down to the couple of the areas where the people help, kind of explain what's out there, and so yeah, it was really fun, and it was free.
One thing,
that's good.
So far,
want to welcome both Blaine from Rayleigh Creative Travel, Blaine and Mallory.
What up, dude?
And Najuma Brown.
Najuma
is lucky because I think both, but they're going on that cruise this October, which I wish I could go on. But anyway,
awesome.
So another thing, and Bob, I know you'll all agree with this. One thing that Disney does so darn good is the entrance, the walk up, to the overpass where the cars come through. What is it about it? They just do that so good.
That's intentional. I know. Yeah.
All right. So that was my number 5. We are back to Mary Ellen with number 4. What's your number?
Okay,
4?
this is another one that I want to stay in. So my favorite area to stay in is around Epcot, between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So Swan, Dolphin, Boardwalk, Yacht and Beach Club. So I want to try Boardwalk because it is centrally located, because those are my two favorite parks, and you can water taxi, and so I can't really say much about what it is except that I really like the location, and I've stayed in that area, which I'll come to when I talk about my next pick or couple picks. And at night, there's no place like it. Even in early morning, is getting up and walking the boardwalk, and there's hardly anybody up, and you go and get your pastry at the shop, and it's just very relaxing to see. Just sit there and look at the water, and just people strolling. It's nothing like it for me.
Yeah.
Very calming.
Bob, we can relate to that.
Oh yeah. We've done that specifically. Go get a pastry, get a coffee, and just sit out there and just enjoy it.
Yes.
Beautiful there.
Yes.
Very nice.
So that's what you haven't stayed there yet, though?
I haven't stayed there yet. I want to.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's when we've stayed there, we actually got a DVC upgrade. It was from my parents' points, and we got on the first floor, and what was really cool is you could literally just step outside our balcony, walk around from the pool, and bam, you're on the boardwalk. You're right there at the parks. It's almost virtually like like Epcot was in your backyard.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like Bob's house.
There you go.
For sure.
Except it's warmer.
Yeah.
It's been terrible here.
All right, Dave. Number 4.
All right, Quattro. Well, this one is my moderate. A moderate actually snuck in my top 5. Now, the one of the biggest reasons why I probably have this on number 4 still is because I have such nostalgia for it. We when I was, like, I would say from my junior high school years all the way to my college years, we were staying there because it was cheaper. It was like, and this was actually, the hotel was brand new, and we just loved the atmosphere of it and just loved the layout of it. And that is Caribbean Beach.
Oh,
Caribbean Beach.
Yeah.
Nice one.
It's
We
when
stayed there.
yeah, it's been like when we go there, like the last time I went there, it's just my wife and I, and I saw like they added like a whole bunch of extra stuff to their pool area. They even have jacuzzis, for crying out loud. I'm going, dadgummit, why didn't they have jacuzzis when I was there? When I was younger, because I loved hanging out in the jacuzzi in some of the other hotels. But you can't beat the colorful buildings. It's so Caribbean. It's just like you go there again. I really feel like a lot of times I'm in a Caribbean island, just walking around. The tropical foliage, the landscaping there is just amazing. I mean, sometimes I feel like Disney. That's where Disney spends a lot of its money, at least on the hotels, because their landscaping is just beautiful. And now, even before they renovated their old Port Royale area, which is like the gathering place for the restaurants and the shops and all that. Even the old style was like a food court style. It was really cool. But now they've classed it up. I mean, they've made it look not as dated with because it was built in the late 80s, early 90s. And but yeah, it's like that's my moderate alternative if we if we have a chance to go there.
It's funny because Bob and I have stayed there. It did not make my list, but it was a great place. Is that size-wise the biggest resort at Disney? Maybe.
I can't remember if they have the most rooms or if Coronado Springs has the most rooms now. I can't remember. It's either one of those two that have the most rooms.
Okay.
And is that because Coronado Springs put in that tower?
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's what kind of made Coronado Springs number 1 now is that tower. Yeah, because that really blew up its capacity.
I think
Yeah.
Caribbean Beach just covers a lot of ground. You know,
A lot of ground.
Yeah.
So
big,
huge.
Yeah. What I
Amazing.
liked about it even better though is that like now you don't have to go to the little check-in area and then get back in your car and drive to your whatever your building is. Now you just check in at Old Port Royale, where it probably should have been to begin with. That's probably one detail flaw. Oh yeah, and see now the Caribbean Beach is a central point for the Disney skyline.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now it has its own unique transportation system. So I think it just wins out as a moderate because of that.
That's a good point. Also want to welcome Movie Mania Nick, our good friend, and Space Mountain Dave Cantrell
Nick.
in the house.
And
And in
Nice.
order, to make this a stream relevant to them, maybe we should talk about a Disney movie about the hotels. Why have they not done this? And you would get to them by a Space Mountain-like ride. It's just a thought.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it.
All right.
That'll be next IP Disney wants to set up.
Yes.
I was thinking today about Brad Bird's, tomorrow. I'm getting off topic. Never mind. All right. Bob, number 4.
Yeah, I got a kind of a tie, but I'm gonna because I really want. So I'm gonna say the Wilderness Lodge is my number 4. I really want to stay there. I haven't yet, but I go there just about every time. Again, if it's kind of crazy at Magic Kingdom, it's great to just hop on the transportation, which is a boat, over to the Wilderness Lodge, and I've gone there to eat lunch. Just take the boat over, eat lunch. I walk past people getting hot dogs at what's that place, Casey's Corner, with their tray, looking for a place to sit, with just gobs of people, and I just think I'm out of here. And so I'll take the boat, go over to Wilderness Lodge, just eat at their quick service, and and every time I'm there, I'm just think this place is awesome. I want to stay here sometime. So that makes my top 5.
You can't beat Whispering Canyon Cafe.
And that too. Yeah, been there a couple times. In fact, remember Dean? We ate so much meat one night. I think.
Yes.
We didn't feel so good.
Yeah, your son got a little sick that night.
My son got sick, and it was just, I think, from meat overload.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. It was all worth it.
Yeah. The Whispering Canyon, that is so good. I am now wondering if Bob and I are going to match every one because
is that your number 4?
That's my number
Quattro 2.
I don't think the next one will be the same, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, number 4 is Fort Wilderness, and I'll add a few things, everything you guys said, and then some of the...
you're saying Fort Wilderness or Wilderness Lodge?
Or I'm sorry, Wilderness Lodge. Yeah. That's where Whispering Canyon is, right?
Yeah. Fort Wilderness, is
Yes.
that the campground or something?
I meant
Yes.
to say Wilderness Lodge, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did stay there. In fact, a great memory was I took my niece to Disney World in the late 80s, and we stayed at 2 different places, and that was the second one. And we checked in. We didn't know anything, and we were at a room that had a view of the lake, and all of a sudden we heard the electrical parade and had no idea. And so for a 6-year-old girl, or she was either 6 or 8 at the time, to go out onto a balcony and unexpectedly see that was pretty magical. So
Did you take any videos or photos of that?
no.
See, it's always the most
you
magical moment.
you borrowed my
miss out.
8mm camcorder, remember?
I know I got peanuts stuck in the device. I'm sorry.
Dean goes, "Can I borrow your brand new camcorder?" And I say, "Sure." And he comes back and he says, I'm afraid to report that I broke it. And so he goes, "But I had it. I sent it to the repair shop, and the repair shop sent it back to me, and they said removed nuts from the drive mechanism." And I thought they meant like little, nuts that go on a screw. But I pull out this bag, and there's a little bag with 2 peanuts in it.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
This
So
This
turns out
streak
Shauna,
is
Shauna
not
was throwing
about
peanuts
me.
everywhere. His
All right.
niece.
Dean was trying to catch him. He was trying to
Yeah.
film him like,
Hey, look at this.
It's a carry bag. I put everything in there. I had some extra tar. I put that in there. Hey, Nick
Oh boy.
has stayed at the Contemporary and Polynesian. I wonder
Oh,
if
what a
we'll
lucky-
mention any of those hotels.
What a lucky guy to stay at those two.
Tony! Tony is in the
Tony.
house.
Tony was just interviewed by Pete McDevitt, and that was a great interview, by the way, Tony. I
Awesome.
enjoyed it. I watched it on
That's
the
awesome.
replay, and you did great.
That's awesome. I haven't
right.
I haven't been interviewed by Pete yet.
Yeah, neither have I. I think I'm scheduled for sometime in the next 2 to 3 years. He's got a big backup.
Yes, I know he does. I remember I was trying to get something set up last year, and I had to back out. But he was like already set. I was like, he was calling me in March, and he was setting me up for September.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Must
Pete's
be
hit.
nice.
He's killing it.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
All right, we're to number 3, Mary Ellen.
Okay, so my number 3 is Animal Kingdom Lodge. So I have stayed there, and my take on it is like Dave was saying on one of his hotels, like it you don't feel like you're at Disney World because you're so isolated because there is animal theme. You can walk it on the balcony and see animals just kind of hanging out, and there's people in the lobby, weaving baskets, and it takes you to another place. You really feel like you're someplace else. And it didn't hurt that Sanaa was there, and you could walk over and eat, bread service. But yeah, that's my number 3 because it's so. And the downside to that to me, and I don't know if I'll go back again, is the transportation. You have to always take a bus no matter where you go.
Yep.
And that's okay, but kind of takes some of the magic away because I like the monorail and I like the boats. So
like when you say that you're like immersed and you feel like you're away, is it more like when you're just walking around the hotel, or is it when you're actually seeing the animals and
both.
Okay, it's both. Okay.
When you're in the lobby of that hotel and the architecture, and you have people sitting, and we were listening to people playing, African music, and they were using the drums, and it was just takes you to it. I've never,
That's
been
cool.
anywhere like that. So, I went through the gift shop probably 10 times because they have stuff in there that they made, and it's like amazing.
There's
And
nothing.
the grounds are just way different than any other Disney hotel that I've stayed in.
I remember at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, sitting out on our little deck in the morning, which overlooked the savannah, and that's an incredible experience.
It is.
That's cool.
It is.
Sweet.
All right. Well, 3 of us have picked Animal Kingdom so far. We'll see if the 4th guy.
All right. Spoiler alert: Animal Kingdom is not on my top 5. It just isn't. And the only reason why is I literally have not really truly experienced it ever. It's like the only deluxe resort I've never been in. Never been there. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that opportunity has never presented itself. But Tres is, and it's actually mentioned. One of y'all mentioned it. I think it was Mary Ellen that mentioned it. Maybe. It's in the Magic Kingdom. It's a monorail resort. And I mean, y'all were asking me about the Bay Lake Tower. So yes, Contemporary Resort is Tres for me. And again, part of it is also nostalgia. When I took my first trips to Disney World as a child, that's where we stayed. As a matter of fact, I have very fond memories of my grandparents. They're staying basically in the room next door. They had adjoining rooms. Now, I was never in the big tower. I was actually in the lower wings. And the wing that we always stayed at has been bulldozed because of Bay Lake Tower. So, but what was really cool though is that I distinctly remember being able to see fireworks from the room there around the corner and seeing the spires of Space Mountain with the fireworks there.
Ooh.
And then right after that, the electric what do they call that on the
The
on
water
the lagoon?
pageant or whatever.
The electrical
Water
water pageant. Yes. It just and that every time I see that water pageant, I always it brings a smile to my face because that just introduced me to that. And I mean, there's nothing like seeing that monorail going through that building for the first time.
Right.
I mean, there's no other hotel.
The question: those rooms that face where the monorail go through, are those like the deluxe ones? You pay a lot for those.
Oh, you pay to get in the tower alone. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I mean, what was so funny though is that I remember like just being in there, you could hardly hear the monorail going through. And y'all remember the Concourse Steakhouse that was there?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, I mean, as a kid, I wasn't really a connoisseur of steaks, but I love that. That was my first real exposure to a good steak. And then Top of the World, before they made it California Grill, it was the Top of the World. And as a kid, I never thought I would see a night show or like a cabaret with a breakfast buffet. That was, and it was literally, I'm dead serious, on Top of the World where you could see the Magic Kingdom and all that. I mean, it was just breathtaking views, but the buffet was fantastic. It was a tower of strawberries. Not kidding. It was like 3-4 feet high of strawberries.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it was immense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but I mean, like I've taken Mrs. Road Trip there to California Grill for an anniversary dinner. Amazing sushi, fantastic sushi.
Yeah.
And I mean, Chef Mickey's is almost like, I almost want to say it's a Disney World visitor rite of passage. You have to go there.
I know I've mentioned this before, but the sushi chef up there was ranked as one of the top 3 in the country. So,
Yep.
and I got to sit right by her, and she made me some special rolls. They were amazing.
When they actually are talking about ranking for sushi, that's no joke. That's legit. Because I remember eating that sushi, and one of the best sushi I'd ever had was in California, and this blew it away. I remember thinking, there's nothing can compare to this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that. But I don't like sushi.
Yeah, I say if you don't like sushi, yeah, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
Hey, I think I saw Jersey Mike.
Jersey Mike in the house.
Just say hi to Jersey Mike.
Hey, Jersey Mike. We actually hung out with Jersey Mike.
Jersey Mike is in the hizzy.
Right?
Get to hang out with
February.
Mike.
It was fun. We hung out with Mike at Epcot in February. Me and Dean and my sister actually. So
Mike is kind of like Bob a little bit. He gets to go often.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then we got Ken in the house. Good to see you, Ken.
Ford man.
By the way, you guys seen Ken is killing it lately. His live streams are going nuts.
I've watched some of Ken's food reviews. I love them. So Ken, keep them coming. They're
awesome.
Enjoying. Yeah, thanks, Mike. We had a blast too. That was great. We had a great time with Mike.
Jerry agrees with you, Bob. No sushi.
All right, Jerry, a non-sushi guy. There we go. It's hard to find people that don't like it.
All right, Bob. Number 3.
All right, here's where I think I differ from you. So number 3 for me is Boardwalk, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I got to get an Epcot resort in there, right? Because I'm Epcot Robert. That's what I put in my thing here, but you didn't.
Epcot Robert.
But yeah, no, I and I just want to stay at an Epcot resort sometime. Well, actually, we stayed at the Swan, or Dolphin, didn't we, Dean?
Yeah.
One time, and so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed being able to, after fireworks, just walk to your hotel room. And so I was thinking, because there's 3 resorts on that lake. There's Boardwalk, there's the Beach Club, and the Yacht Club, right? Yacht and Beach Club, or maybe they're the same. I'm not sure. So you'd think you'd stay at the fancier ones, the Yacht and Beach Club, but no, I'd prefer Boardwalk. Really, I like the where it's set. Like Mary Ellen said, you can go down, get a pastry, get a coffee, just sit out, out by the water in the morning. Yeah, so for me, that's in my top 5. I definitely love to do that one.
Yeah. So. All this talk of food, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
You guys? By the way, I just wanted to say, and I don't know if you guys heard this, but I just happened to catch something here. Apparently, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
What?
No.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Really?
Why? I mean, I don't know why.
Who's Will
Why?
Well, the viewers count just went up. I think it's because I mentioned that.
You could have said something about World War III, but the slap.
Let's do it. That's a fantastic segue, Dean. Just stick with that, and then we can be like hugely relevant in the YouTube land.
That's right.
That's all you got to do. All right. So my number 3. You're right, Bob. Mike, you hadn't heard about that. Wow, that's amazing.
Who's Will Smith?
Yeah,
Who's Will Smith?
If I see my counts going up to 200-300 viewers, I am changing my whole focus. I'm telling you. Will Smith. All right.
Good night, Movie Mania, Nick. We'll see you.
Yeah. See you, Nick. Good to have you
Good
here.
to see you, Nick. Thanks for coming.
Dean, sorry, Dean. I want to interrupt you. If you do Will Smith, you just have to do a little disclaimer. It will no longer be a family-friendly live stream.
That's true. Yeah. I'll have to bring down the live place.
There you go.
Well, my number 3, I won't talk about it too much, is the Contemporary. I have stayed there 2 times, and I have a funny story about it. The first time I was sent there for a conference from work, so I got to stay there for free. Here's the amazingly, it bugs me to this day, and Bob will know what I'm talking about. I was making the room reservation. She says, "Do you want to be on the parking lot side or the lake side?" And I went, "Lake?" And I did not know that the other side had the view of Magic Kingdom and the fireworks and the music piped into the room. So
that's classic.
Yeah.
You sure she didn't say park side and you heard parking lot?
Parking lot. I know it.
Oops.
Hey, Brian. Nice to have you here. Leanne says, Jerry and I have our favorite value resort and favorite booth in the food court that we go to every time. Well, you got to tell us what that is. But I bet I know. So that's Contemporary. And I stayed there twice. And what I loved about it the most was the moment we opened up our door, this massive indoor beautiful hotel, and my kids could run to get on the monorail. And that was such a cool experience. I love that.
Yes. Yeah, you just can't beat the fact that you're not having to go out of your way, right, to get to the transportation, and even going back to the Contemporary, another thing, like, I'll get a little nostalgic here. Before there was what's called Blue Wave, and now it's something different. What is it called?
Yeah, the restaurant downstairs.
Yeah, the restaurant downstairs. Yeah. That was a kid's paradise.
Oh, really?
It was. You thought that Contemporary has a decent arcade? Oh no! It was a mega arcade. It was like this arcade, like it's bigger than Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese's.
Wow.
It was huge. And then they had a shooting gallery like they have at Frontierland, where you have the guns and it had the sensors, and it actually made props, do all sorts of crazy things, had a shooting gallery in there, and you had your own personal movie theater where they played Disney classics.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
Really?
I saw that.
It was the fact that they got rid of it. It killed me as a kid. I was just, I think that's when they started redoing it, was like in the early 90s. So I kind of grew out of that somewhat. But man, I tell you, I remember going there, and I remember, like, it would be cool air conditioning. You go out there to the wing, from your room, and you'd be coming with snacks in your hands, and you'll be playing arcade till midnight. I mean, it was just flat out epic. And let me tell you what, I got introduced to a lot of classic Disney movies with the movie theater. That, I mean, they played everything. They played the classics like Mary Poppins, and then they played a very little known classic like Island on Top of the World.
Don't know that one.
I don't know.
Y'all are Disney fans and you've never seen that movie. You must repent and you must watch it.
What year
now.
was it? What
it was like 1970 something. It was I can't remember the people that were in it. It's actually kind of dark. It has a little bit of black hole vibe to it.
Ooh.
In terms of violence, as I call it, violence. It's an awesome action adventure movie.
Well, I'm looking at the pictures, and those actors are not exactly big names.
They're not big names. Yeah. The one guy you might recognize is the really tall guy. I think he
David
used to
Hartman.
play. Yeah. He and he ended up like being in like TV broadcasting or something like that. But man, I'm telling you, it was just the coolest thing. It was like our own personal movie theater.
Oh, that's
wow.
Yeah.
So contemporary. All right. Number
Sorry,
2, right?
I ran us off the rails on that one.
Hey.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool, really cool. I'll have to find some pictures sometime.
I was thinking that you were going to talk about the restaurant down there, and I just have to mention that Bob and I had the wonderful privilege to have dinner with Josh and Jenna at that restaurant.
Oh, nice.
The Wave.
The Wave. Yeah, that's a good It was a good restaurant.
Was.
Yeah.
All right. Mary Ellen, number 2.
Okay. I was very torn because I like these final two almost equally. Back when my children were younger, we would stay at the Polynesian. So that's my number 2, because it was just easier when they were children to pop them on the monorail and go places. And then it was with my number 1 choice. So, and back then, okay, here's my logic. Okay, back then we used to go for the deluxe because we had 5 people. And you could stay 5 people at the Polynesian, whereas if you had to stay at a value resort, you had to get 2 rooms.
That's right.
That's right.
We're saving money here. So that's how we got on the whole deluxe train. It just worked out better that way. So for me, the Poly, one year we faced the castle and Bay Lake, and it was raining, so we were lying in our room and we could see the fireworks from our room out the window. I mean, it was just magical. And then at night to watch the water pageant go by, and the piped in music as you're walking around, and it's peaceful. It was just like you're getting away from the parks and you can just chill. It was just we stayed there several times. So that's my number 2, because it was nostalgic for when the kids were little, and the theming, you can't beat their theming. I mean, it's just That's my number 2.
That's a good choice. I'm going to
Yeah,
bring
very
up a
good
couple
choice.
comments. Leanne is saying that, and this did surprise me, that All Star Movies is their go-to.
Oh wow, yeah. I was thinking that Everything Pop, the
Yeah, I thought it
food
was
court
Pop.
there would be the
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. That's what I thought too. And Brian is saying when they put Frontierland Shooting Gallery on the refurbishment, when I worked at Disneyland, they found a lot of money under the boards. I think when it was counted over $2,500.
Oh,
Whoa,
So
Wow.
they didn't know it was free.
wow.
Hey, where did Dave go?
Did we lose Dave?
I'm sorry, Dave. What did I say?
Did you click something wrong, Dean?
I'm sorry I brought up Will Smith. All right, that was my fault.
He's just mad that we didn't watch that one movie.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Here he is.
dude, I don't know what happened.
Where is he?
Literally, like I was on and it just went
Yeah.
I didn't
Safari,
do it, I
man. No, it's like technology. I will find a way to break technology anytime. If there's anything you need broken, let me know. I can do it.
Well, that's why we have Bob here. He fixes it.
There you go. So Bob is the fixer upper. I am the destructor.
Just think of Bob the Builder.
There
Ah,
you go, Bob.
Dean
Dave's the
Dean is the dreamer.
destroyer. Dave the destroyer. It's perfect.
Hey, we have Ed.
Oh, hey,
Ed.
Ed.
Hi,
He's
Ed.
been
How's it
busy.
going?
What up, man?
Texas Takes.
Good to see Texas
Talk
Takes.
about somebody who gets to go to. Talk about somebody who gets to go to Disney a lot. Ed, we're envious.
Ed
More
and
than
Heather.
you lately. For sure.
Yep.
All right, what are we at? Number 2 for Dave, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Yes. Now, I'll say this: I've been blessed. I've been blessed with a family that went to Disney a lot and got to stay at these places. When I got married with my wife, and when I think we've been able to have one stay with all 3 of our kids there, and we just absolutely loved it. Now, it is an Epcot resort, of course. It is. I would say it's the resort that's kind of similar to my personality. So, if y'all know where I grew up, and y'all know the kind of things that I like. As a matter of fact, there's a little picture right there. Kind of gives it a hint. Number 2 for me is Beach Club, baby.
Oh.
I absolutely love the Beach Club. What y'all were mentioning about the boardwalk, just walking, right to the park. The Beach Club is even a shorter walk. You literally do feel like it is your backyard. One of the coolest things I got to do was for the Millennium. And it was what was it? 1990. Well, it was when Disney was kind of doing Millennium like twice. They did it in 99 and then they did it in 2000, something like that. I can't remember which year it was, but I remember one year we watched the fireworks from our room, and I got a picture of it, big spaceship Earth with the wand on top of it, and
Yes.
seeing the fireworks here on the side.
Yes.
So you could watch the huge fireworks display that was going on there. The rides from the Epcot, we were riding those till basically closed till midnight. And I remember one time walking around the Crescent Lake and just celebrating from there, and it was almost like it's just as good as being in the parks. It's just as good.
Mm-hmm.
That pool is one of the best themed pools I've ever seen. It's a sand bottom pool. I love swimming in that thing. I love. Oh, and the slide is awesome. The big pirate ship slide that's there, and there's they have multiple jacuzzis, multiple whirlpools. That's always essential. And they have a fantastic weight room. I mean, I know it's like you go on vacation to work out. I'm like, when I was younger and had more time and didn't have kids, it's like just keep in shape. Rob Fuzz is in the house.
Rob
On Mount
Fuzz.
Ward,
Hey,
my
Rob.
man. But Beach Club, you can't beat the dining either. I mean, you got Cape May Cafe, awesome breakfast, awesome seafood buffet. You're located right next to Yacht Club, so then you can hit the Yachtsman. Still I've never eaten there yet. I would love to eat there. But they even have like the Yacht Club Galley is still very good. And then I mean Beaches and Cream. I mean, now I don't know. Have any of y'all have had the kitchen sink?
Mhm.
I've watched. My family's done it, but
I mean, there's no other place on the earth that I know that has this unique and amazing dessert. I mean,
yes.
I have not eaten it myself. I've always shared.
Yeah.
But I mean, but even one time though, my sister and brother-in-law had the kitchen sink, and they were trying to finish it off themselves. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I ended up getting like this huge chocolate brownie mega sundae. It was like, I mean, and their brownies, oh man, it was just awesome. Can't beat the vibe in Beaches and Club. Now the Beaches and Cream. I know they've renovated it somewhat, but it was like it looked like an old 50s soda shop. I loved that. Absolutely loved it.
That's my number one, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's
I don't
where
want
I
to steal your thunder, Mary.
now.
No, I stole your thunder. I'm sorry.
No. I agree with everything you said. And talking about contemporary having, an arcade back in the day, now I think the workout area has expanded to take it over. The arcade was just huge. And we
Yes.
stayed there once when ABC was having their convention and all these, bars were there for their convention or whatever. And so they were just kind of walking around the resort and you're like, oh, there's so and so and there's so and so and there's so and so. But the pool, I mean, my kids they would stay there for hours.
Yes.
At that pool. And then
You could stay
quiet.
Yeah, you could stay you could be 2 days at that resort.
Yes. Yes. And it's such a quick walk from Beach Club over to Epcot. I mean, it's just like that.
It's literally 5 minutes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. The
That is a close.
back way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We all said hi to Rob Fuzz, which is
Rob Fuzz.
partner for a couple of us here.
I see.
Partners in
I saw
crime.
Ed said something about October, so maybe he's going to be part of that. That'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
And then it says, I see that Ed said to Rob, "Great to meet you at Epcot, Rob."
Yeah,
So,
Epcot Rob.
Rob. Hey, join the club. It'd be Epcot Bob and Epcot Rob.
Epcot
I
Rob.
like it.
And we have John Surf Bum in the house as well. So
So,
welcome,
hey,
what's up,
hey.
man?
How you doing, John?
Righteous bra.
All right. Let's see. What does Ed say? We like Blaze Brian. Boathouse is one of the best dinners. I have heard about the Boathouse.
I've heard that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, Mr. Epcot Bob.
All right. It was so for me, number 2. Yeah, I kind of went a little back and forth, but it's going to be the Contemporary. And I don't have to say a whole lot more. It's between that and the other one. I think Dean at least know what the primary one is, and it probably is too.
It is.
But yeah, Contemporary. I've never stayed there, and I include kind of Bay Lake Tower with that, but I would love to. And another nice thing about the Contemporary that I don't think we mentioned is it's sitting out at the dock kind of area where they have tables, and that's a nice chill spot right there.
Yeah. Over there,
It's really quiet.
where the boats
tables
are. Yeah.
never have people at them, so it's that's an awesome place to just kind of hang out and chill too. So,
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
I was going to say too, the beach volleyball area as well. There's a place where
right.
you can play.
Yeah.
Where you can play beach volleyball. Usually about when the sun is setting, if you're there, I mean, it is a chill area, and you can hear the horns of the boats, on the lake, and it's very peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, number 2. We're coming up to we are at the top of the hour, so we're doing good. All right, my number 2 is going to surprise you, but if you travel 30 miles west in Kissimmee, there's a Motel 6, and I want to tell you, they have the best ice machine. That ice machine. Okay.
I remember that ice machine.
You do, don't you?
It kept us up all night long.
We loved it.
Had me going. You had me going.
I know.
Good. If I can fool Dave. My next one is, has anyone said this yet? I'm really shocked. Is Pop Century. Pop Century is my number 2, and it is my go-to on-site place because it's a beautiful place. I love it, and of course, Skyliner. Now, I will say, on my last trip, the Skyliner gets really backed up in the morning, and so that was kind of a negative there. It took me an hour to get into the parks. 1 hour. Yeah.
Wow.
On the day I went to Hollywood Studios, and I was like, are you kidding me? Now, as Bob will appreciate, I didn't really mind because I enjoy just standing there as long as it's not raining. It was nice. So anyway, number 2, Pop Century. Nobody said that yet, right?
No.
I don't think anyone's gonna say it either. All right.
I never got a chance to stay there. We were flirting. We flirted with All-Star Movies before, because that's what we've heard is that it's like, in terms of the value resorts, it's the nicer one. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that, Dean? Like, if
it has always seemed like the nicest one to me. I've stayed at movies and sports and all that. I like Pop seems just a little bit better.
What is it about it that you think that kind of makes it better?
That area back with the water and the bridge over to the Art of Animation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think that area is superior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would agree. I could see that.
Did they keep the light on for you? I'm not sure.
Motel 6.
Motel 6.
Good one. I remember that. I remember that commercial.
That's good. Hey, we have
Booger.
our ultimate friend, Noah.
Hey, Noah.
What up, Noah? Is in the house.
Great to see
All right. He is here. Number 2. So, all right. So with Mary Ellen, we already know you're number 1.
Yep, I gave it away.
That's all right. Got a honorable mention you want to throw in there?
No, I mean, the only 2 I haven't mentioned on there is Swan and Dolphin, and I'd be happy to stay there too.
Oh, sure.
Anywhere near Epcot, I would love to, to try. But but I've stayed at the Beach Club around there.
The Beach Club is Mrs. Road Trip's number 1.
Okay. I mean, I would get a hopper, and when we would finish our day at the parks, I would still go into Epcot at the end of the day, just to end my day being at Epcot and then walk back. I mean, totally. it means that much to me, and I just love it.
I always try to get back to Epcot by the end of the day, no matter where I go. It's I always like to finish there.
Yes.
The walkout isn't as good out of Epcot, I think, as it used to be during the Illuminations days, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
All right, number 1, Mr. Dave.
All right, Uno, number 1 hotel in Disney parks, and T-Town Mary Ellen is wearing some ears to give you a hint. If you haven't guessed it in the chat yet, it involves wonderful music. It involves the South Pacific. That's right. It is the Polynesian Resort, the Polynesian Village Resort. That is numero uno in my book. Now, Dean, I'm not going to make a rant here. I'm just going to let you know, okay? But But if they continue chiseling away at the Polynesian like they've been doing lately, like we're gonna get rid of the luau now for generic Holiday Inn. And then they already got rid of my beautiful water fountain right in the lobby.
Yes.
T-Town Mary Ellen, I may be joining you. The ranking may switch.
Motel 6 is starting to look pretty good.
In terms of price, it sure is. but I mean, but right now, as Polynesian still sits, even with the things that they've taken away from it, you cannot beat the view. The view, I mean, we just talk about the view. The beaches are now, before they had the issue with the gators and everything. I mean, I remember playing on that beach and just playing in the sand. I mean, you literally felt like you were in a different world. When you walk through the resort, it's so well themed. You hear the Hawaiian music in the background, and it's just it's a whole different level. I mean, for 5 to 10 minutes of walking through there, you feel like you're in Hawaii. I mean, you do not. You feel like you're in the South Pacific. You do not feel that you are in Florida. You can't beat. I mean, Kona Cafe, amazing seafood, amazing everything. Really, there's anything bad I've ever had there. And I mean, Ohana. I mean,
Ohana.
Enough said, right? I mean, it's you can't beat that. Now, before all the beer virus madness. They had the luau show there, and it really, really hurts me that they're getting rid of the Spirit of Aloha show, because it was such a great introduction to the South Pacific culture. I just I love the the dances, and of course when I was a teenager I loved the girls wearing grass skirts. Okay, yes I know that. I know we probably don't want to do that now. Ugh, but but then the fire twirlers, and then the guys they're like the males that do the haka dance. Now, have y'all ever heard of a haka? It's if you are familiar with South Pacific culture, it's when they're making those really exaggerated weird faces and going, ah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
I have to say something. You said, "Do you know the haka?" And I said, "Yes." I didn't. So I just want to.
I said yes because Dean said yes.
I was like, way to go, Dean.
Oh yeah, haka.
Dean is so cultured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets around.
He gets around. But so yeah, I mean that's I mean the I think it's actually Polynesian that actually has on average like the average largest rooms of all the guest rooms, from what I understand. They have the most square feet. I think there's that. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the larger guest rooms. And then the pool area of the volcano. I mean, shoot, and you can get Dole Whip there now. Out there.
Yeah.
So, do you think they'll bring those dancing stuff back, or is that gone?
There's a part of me, like I said, you can get into rant territory with this. I mean, you really can. Is it politically correct, right?
Oh.
I mean, and we know what Disney is really trying to do, especially lately.
Yeah.
I don't see them bringing it back. They haven't rehired those people. They aren't bringing the show back, and they aren't even going to start construction on that area. That used to be talk about a nice quiet area. Mm-hmm. It's like when the Spirit of Aloha show wasn't going on. Oh man, it was like a respite of peace to like walk from there to the Grand Floridian. Yeah. I mean, so they still have that right now. It's still there. So. Yep. That's it from me.
Good choice. And I wonder what Bob's number one is going to be. I just can't imagine.
Broken Record, the Poly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of my favorite places to go. Even though I've never actually stayed there, overnight. That's an escape. I always feel like And I've told Dean this. We tried to zag when everybody zigs. I mean, because so what happened last time I was there? I was heading for Magic Kingdom, and it was just packed. It was crowded, and I'm walking towards either the boat or the monorail, and I look over at the Poly. I went, I'm going to the Poly, and so I headed over there, walked through those walkways, felt like you were lost in Hawaii,
Yes.
and then I went. I hadn't had breakfast, so I went and had breakfast at Captain Cook's, which you can get a good selection there. Sat outside, there was nobody there. Beautiful breeze, that waterfall, the and then when I was done eating breakfast, I sauntered on upstairs to the monorail while I'm thinking of these massive hordes of people trying to squeeze the boat. I was jokingly telling Dean that, oh, they're all fighting, they're screaming, but they weren't. But that's kind of the picture I had. Oh, what happened last time? So I was going to go up to the monorail station was closed because it was shut down for a while, and I thought, oh no, I got to take wait a minute, the boat. So yeah, after having breakfast, I just walked over to the dock, hopped on the boat. There was like me and 3 other people motoring over, while this ship's practically sinking, taking the massive crowds of people.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so many other reasons, but the Poly is definitely my favorite. Dino?
Yeah, Polly is mine, of course, and
Great minds think alike.
yes. Well, what can I add? I was disappointed they put in the special villas in the water. I felt that was a bad move. I love sitting on that beach. I love the distant hum of the monorail. Anyway, still great. As Bob says, sorry, go ahead.
Dean, now I will say they got rid of that beach area. Yeah, that was a letdown. But the one thing that I was impressed with, they still kept that hill. You know that hill,
That's right.
that overlook.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they haven't done anything with that. That's really just where you can see everything.
I see Leanne says these days there seems to be more fighting and screaming. Yeah, Leanne, that's exactly right. There's actually been, so I joke about people, the ferry boat sinking and people fighting, but literally there's been fights and all kinds of things breaking out on those.
Yeah.
So it's not too far from the truth, I'm afraid.
Yep.
That's nuts. I have a unrelated story, but it reminded me of it because you're talking about the luau. When Michael K is a big streamer, but back before he was big, he went to the Hawaiian Disney Hotel and he was at that luau. And the funniest thing happened that he was sitting there and filming the show, and all of the dancers were leaving and they were done. And one of the girls, when they walked by, she looks down, Michael K. And he was, oh, wow. I mean, he's in Hawaii.
That's funny.
Yeah, that did not happen to me ever. In fact, I've been waiting like crazy to have
a place.
What's wrong with me? I mean, Bob had the crazy Disney lady stop dead in her tracks and Epcot Bob, and it had Prince Charming Dev also notice him, but not me. But oh well, hey, listen, dream over. All right. Number 0. No, we're done, aren't we? All right.
We got them all.
Guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
It was fun.
Any final thoughts? Words of wisdom?
I was going to say, I would say Boardwalk is a great honorable mention for me. I mean, because y'all mentioned it before, and that's all those reasons are there for that. It's you can almost. I mean, what's funny is that Hollywood Studios doesn't have its own resort area.
Right.
Boardwalk is, I would say, the closest to that. So which is kind of cool. So it's definitely worth a visit. Definitely worth a stay.
Ed
Well,
is
the other
saying
thing-
let's all go in on a condo.
I agree. Yeah, Ed, I like that.
Okay.
thought. And by the way, let's get a car too, because my gosh, the car rental price is down there.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous. Now, Dean, I
See,
was going to mention that when I ran into Tanya, she did mention your name.
Yeah.
She goes on
Right.
stream. She
Oh.
didn't decide. She didn't ignore you. She said, "And this is Epcot Bob, and his brother is Dean. He runs that. What's that live thingy? That live thing? Oh, the live place. The live place.
It's such an easy name to remember.
Live thingy.
The live
Well,
thingy.
I was at Hollywood Studios, and I've probably told this story before, and I was walking, and somebody from behind me says, "Is that Dean of the live place?" It was Richard. It was Arjon.
By
That's
the way,
awesome.
Dean, didn't you recently go to a hotel and somebody kind of clairvoyantly knew that you were at Epcot that day or something?
Oh, that too. That's right. I like Ed's first idea, the lice place. You know,
The
that's
live place.
that has some connotations right there.
It's kind of a slip, right? Ed?
Live, not lice. My goodness. Ed, no, Ed. Now you've just given me some ideas to do a parody. I swear I've been
We're
wanting
gonna
to do some
use
parodies
this.
lately. It's like I would be like, "Welcome to the live thingy."
Yeah.
The lice.
We're gonna go visit the lice place.
So, Dean, you got to tell. So, what happened when you when that person clairvoyantly knew you had been at?
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I think I was at the Rose and Shingle Creek, or anyway, and I was in the elevator, and this woman goes, she said something like, first she said something about me that was right, and I said, well, that's right. And she goes, and did you go to Epcot today or something like that? I'm like, how do you know that? And I was wearing this shirt. And I was just anyway. Let's see.
That's awesome.
What does it say? Oh,
See,
Yes.
Nina,
but that
It
is the first.
Ed. It happens.
Ed,
That was a Freudian slip. That's okay.
It was a Freudian slip.
I got to go check my hair. All right. So
Ed, you just inspired me, man. You just inspired me. It's like I need to be doing some more humor videos anyway. So I mean that would be fantastic.
well, I just want to say before we say goodbye, we'll do this again probably in the next 2 to 4 years. So I want you to be looking forward to that. And guys, it's been a privilege.
It's been great.
It's
Mary
been
Ellen.
fun.
It's been awesome, Dean. Thank you so much for
Great.
having us.
I don't get on any live stream, so this is nice to do
it was
this.
fun.
So,
Next time with Leanne.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Sooner,
And
girl, you
Ed-
need to get here.
Ed,
We gotta
maybe
have
one of these
Ed-
other guys can join us. Noah, some of these other
Yeah.
guys on here.
We'll
Awesome.
open up the
Very
mic.
much.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here in the chat, everybody. And we'll see you soon. Have a good night.
See you guys later.